Episode 29 of We Stand Corrected is brought to you by our at-home colonoscopy kit.
Tired of long doctor visits, awkward conversations, and not knowing what's going on down there?
Introducing the We Stand Corrected at-home colonoscopy kit, now featuring our exclusive disposable camera. Because why shouldn't Dad be up on the big screen at home?
It's easy. Just bend, snap, and say cheese. You've never seen your colon in 35mm glory until now.
And it's perfect for family movie night. Popcorn? Check. Soda? Check. Unforgettable internal imagery of Grandpa Bob? Double check.
But wait, there's more. Use code STANDCORRECTED at checkout and we'll throw in a special bonus gift. Our world-famous scented flatulent spray cream.
Because if you're going to blast it, might as well mask it with hints of lavender, leather, and shame.
We stand corrected for when it's time to take a long, hard look at your insides.
Not FDA approved. Do not use without adult supervision. Side effects may include discomfort, external dread, and accidentally discovering you're full of hot air.
I go ham on a bullet beat combined to Il Brio. Call the homies up and make tracks with my people. Cause when we join forces, we know that he is with us. We talk to him and keep a strong witness. So when I say I'm gonna take you to church.
Welcome, sir.
How are you doing tonight, man?
I'm good.
You know, it's just
the weekend.
It's not the same this time. I don't hear the birds chirping. I don't hear the airplanes landing and the motorcycles running up and down the street. It's cold here.
Yeah, we're back to normal. I can hear the old external heater in the background, the old propane just sizzling.
Yeah.
You guys ever wonder what that hum is in the background?
I've got a propane heater in my garage. I do my podcasting out of the garage, and this time of year it's a little bit nipply out here if I don't have that running. So that's what that hiss is in the background.
It's April and it's cold in Colorado.
Well, wait a minute. How'd you say that again?
I did that on purpose.
I know you did, fucker.
You like that?
Yeah, I do. So what'd you do today, Joseph?
Man, I have been remodeling my basement.
How's that going?
How's
it going?
It's like a never-ending process by yourself, man. I feel like it's taken me... Man, I've probably worked hard on it since last August, maybe longer.
I've been seeing like all the progress reports of it where you're sending me like snaps of the framing process and snaps of the sheetrock hung and the lighting in, and I think it looks like a fun project myself.
It is, but when it's just you, man, it takes forever.
Yeah.
Forever. And so I'm getting to the nitty-gritty part where I'm like, dude, I can see the light now. I'm starting to see light.
I've seen that steep staircase of yours too. That's probably no joke carrying those full sheets of plywood of sheetrock down there.
Yeah, I actually had help on that one. Thank goodness.
Well, that's good at least.
Yeah, so that's been the hardest part, is putting up the ceiling with the drywall. And that's been the longest, most tedious part because my basement hasn't had anything to hang the drywall up on. So I've had to make all that from scratch, and make hangers to hang it down, and made my mistakes along the way, learning curves, first timer, losing my virginity on this.
For every home project I've ever done, I've learned something both about myself and about my house.
I learned every wall in my house is not square.
Yeah, I crossed that bridge when I tried to do new baseboards in my entire house, and it was a nightmare.
And then you try and line it up thinking you're square, and then nothing lines up, and that's the frustrating part,
Yep.
So last night I was just covered head to toe in mud because I found out I'm not the best mudder in the world. And
you've voiced some of your frustration with that the corner bead and the seam tape.
Yeah, but it looks nice once I've got it done. It's frustrating. I don't know that I could do it for a career, but those guys do it in and out where they're more proficient.
I mean, and people don't give those people enough credit because it does look easy, but there's an art to doing all of that.
Yeah, there truly is, and they do it so fast, man, where I'm up here and I feel just like I need special needs up here because I work so slow at it, and I'm trying to get it just right and getting the right amount on there, and you talk about a frustrating piece, and then you wipe off the mount, and you're like, God dang it, and then I got to come back and do more, and
Yep.
then come to find out, I told you this, and I was stupid. I was so stupid, and I knew better. But when I was hanging the hangers and making for my ceiling and the drywall, instead of putting them at 16-inch centers, I put the 2x4s at 16 inches apart, so they're a little bit more than 16-inch centers.
So it throws everything off.
Yeah, so when I got done, they're not on 16-inch centers, but they're still the same amount of distance apart. So,
are the walls the same way, or did you do them different?
What do you mean?
So did you have to put any framing up for the sheetrock that went on the walls?
The walls were already there. Thankfully, that was done. The ceiling is the only thing that hasn't been done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got it to work at the end of the day.
It's up. It looks nice. Nobody's ever going to know but me. It's only my little secret.
One of these days when somebody wants to mount something with a ceiling fan down there or something, they're going to be so perplexed trying to figure out where the joists are.
Till I get out of this place and move out, and they're going to go, all right, there's 16 inches.
They're going to have holes all over the ceiling.
Sorry, but it looks nice.
I know when I did our baseboard here at our house, I must have went through at least a tube of caulk, of construction caulk, to get the corners to fill in and hide all the cracks.
Do you like white
because
caulk?
you couldn't get anything square.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
You make a 45-degree cut, and it's really more like a 51 or some crazy thing.
Yep. You know what else I found that's good for that too? I mean, caulk works great, but that wood filler, have you ever used that wood filler?
Yeah, that's good stuff.
And then you could just paint over that too.
Yeah,
especially
and
when
it's
those big
sandable
gaps like that. Because I'm the same way. It's like when I caulk, I'm like a mess. Like I'm doing this damn joint compost down in my basement. It just bothers me because it's everywhere.
And I'm not very good at doing that either. Even to like reseal our bathtub seams, I'm terrible at that. I make such a mess and wind up wiping half of it off anyway.
Yeah, I redid my mom's shower. So when I put up the walls for the shower, I was such a mess with the caulk on the inside corners of the shower and everything, like trying to get it. So I ended up buying a special tool that you can just run up the gap and just, because my fingers weren't going to cut it. I got pissed. So, and then, my dad helped me hang a little bit of the ceiling. I got the stairs in. The stairs look nice. I should have done the stairs last, learning point. Because now the stairs are a mess, and I redid my stairs, made them all look nice. I was like, I got this. Well, rookie mistake, right? So now I got to drag everything downstairs, like the drywall and all the tools and the materials and the dirt. And so now my stairs look all jacked up, but they'll wash. But, I got this. My dad came and helped me hang the ceiling because, hanging that ceiling by yourself is no joke. And he's like, I'll buy you some tape for your joint compound post. And I was cussing that man's name like nobody's business, dude. Because he bought me the no-stick shit.
Yeah, it's literally just cloth tape.
And, I've never really done this before. I've patched some holes in the wall at the house, right? But I've never really used tape without adhesive on it. And he's like, yeah, this will be perfect. And deep down, that fucker was fucking with me. Bought like a $3 100-foot roll of this non-stick fucking tape. And I get it up there, and he's like, yeah, you got to mud it a little bit on the seams and then stick it up there and maybe use a tack and blah, blah. So I do all that, and I let it dry, and I got fucking bubbles up there, and I'm going, God dang it, like, it bubbled, so I'm like, fuck this shit. Like, I went and bought these sticky shit, and I'm over here, like, I had already done, like, 30 feet of seams, and I had to come back and redo it all.
Yeah. The yellow, and I know exactly what you're talking about, the yellow sticky one-sided stuff, and it'll save your ass. It's worth every penny of the extra money.
Oh, yeah, and that's what I did. And it was only like $2 more, and I was like, God dang it.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that more expensive. So.
Cool. At least you got it done.
Not quite. I'm almost there. Got to get the texture up there next. You want to come texture?
You don't want me doing that.
That's going to be my next big messy adventure after this mud is throwing that texture up there.
Yeah, you're going to get a sprayer?
Thinking about either, I don't know, doing that or the dang can. What do you think?
Do you have an air compressor?
Yeah.
I would just rent the sprayer.
Yeah.
You take the joint compound, you mix it with water until it's like pancake batter consistency, pour it in the hopper, pull the trigger, and it sprays that shit all over the wall. It'll say you can get it done, I'm serious, like half the time.
Can you rent that sprayer at like Home Depot?
You can.
Can you? Okay.
They're simple.
Because I was looking at the cans and they're like $20 a can for 30 square feet. I'm like, that's pretty pricey.
Yeah. The only thing you might want to make sure is that you have a big enough air compressor. Because I know if you get halfway through and it starts running out of air, then that's going to be a mess.
Yeah, I think I do. I got a pretty good size one.
Cool.
So, anyways.
I was just going to ask you, did you ever happen to look into the Amtrak thing that we talked about last time?
You know me. I come prepared. So
what'd you find out?
A one-way ticket on a westbound train, seeing as far as I can go. $90 for a one-way ticket both ways.
A one-way ticket both ways?
Yeah, so 180 round trip.
So it's a round trip ticket.
Well, yeah, 90 there, 90 back.
Now, where does it leave from?
90 is 180.
It leaves out of Union Station in Denver?
And arrives in Union Station in
Denver what?
Denver? Downtown Denver. Colorado?
No, see, you're wrong again.
That sounds odd when I say it like that, doesn't it?
Okay, well. So it goes from Union Station and winds up in, what did we say it was? Cincinnati, right?
Cincinnati. Yeah, we're going all the way to Cincinnati. Chicago. We're going to eat at a lovely Chicago dag.
We're going to go to Chicago, get some good deep dish, okay?
Hey, I hear they got great pizza.
Alaska.
Yes, Omaha. #1 zoo in the world. But
honestly,
so $90
I think that's probably
there.
just about all that they have in Omaha.
Yeah, and then right across the Missouri River is a town that is called, oh gosh, what is that town? It's a gambling town. I've been there. Gosh dang it. What is that town? Come on, Mr. Geography.
I'm trying to think. I don't know if...
Council Bluffs.
Oh, I see. That's news to me.
You never been to Iowa? It's a great state. Great state of Iowa.
I think you're bluffing me.
I'm bluffing you in Council. I've stayed there. I've stayed in Council Bluffs at the Harrah's, right on the river. Gambled
Play
my
a Wheel
ass
of
off.
Fortune machine there?
Of course they do, dude. Of course. How do you think I know
Did
about
you win?
That?
Did you win
No,
on it?
there's only one person I've ever known win off that machine big.
Well, you
One
probably
guy.
never see that person win another thing in their life either.
Hey, you're welcome.
I told my wife when we go on the cruise, because they do have those machines on the Freedom of the Seas, that I'm going to try it on there. I have to put $20 in it.
You and I got to go get a player's card and then play a little
Yeah.
bit, because I hear they offer good room packages once you get a player's card and play a little bit.
Sometimes what I've heard is if you put enough money on your player's card, even if you don't use it all, and then you cash it out or whatever, however that works, that they will look at it as money spent and sometimes even offer you free cruises.
Yeah, and that's what we need, because I think I'm going to double down on this United card, buddy, because that United card right now is looking great.
All right, you said it's got some pretty good incentives.
Southwest is kind of tugging my chain here, and I was a loyal Southwest guy for a long time.
Yeah, I know. I knew at some point that was going to have to come to an end just for them to stay competitive, though.
It's so sad, but that's what they were known to.
Yeah,
I think
know.
it's going to kill them.
Yep, it might.
Other than stay competitive.
Yep.
Anyways, back on topic here. $90 for a one-way ticket on an eastbound train, arriving in Omaha at 4 a.m. from Denver, Colorado.
I still think by the time we get to Omaha, we're going to be completely exhausted.
Nah, you'll only live once, buddy. YOLO.
Didn't we talk about just going from Denver to, like, Glenwood?
Mm-hmm. We could do that, too.
I think between you and I think we better do that first before we jump in head first.
That one we're going to have to get a hotel on.
Yeah.
So, okay, it's still about $90 one way there, too.
That's doable.
Yeah.
I think that would be all right.
All right, so we'll go to...
It's not the same level of commitment if it does end up not going well.
It would be a little bit weird just you and I taking a train to Omaha, just where you and I go to the zoo. I would quite honestly say, like, it's a little
might
weird.
be
Like,
a
I
little
like
bit fruity
you, but,
seeming.
I mean, for you and I just to go to a zoo is...
It's kind of odd.
Yeah, you know, I'd take my kid, I'd force her along, she'd complain.
I know mine would complain, and I know my wife would complain if I took her on a train. She'd probably slit my throat while I was asleep.
Not if I'm there. You'll be all right.
Not eager to save me from her? I don't think so.
Well, she might slit your throat of that impression you gave of her like an episode ago. I don't know if she heard that impression.
Well, she might slit yours too, from knowing that you're the one that put me up to all that.
The impression or the train ride? Because that impression of her was... I don't know if she heard that.
She did.
She didn't say anything?
There's not a lot that bothers her, Joe. Not anymore. She's been married to me for too long.
Okay. Well, all right, so we could get the kids to Glenwood, though, and get a room, and then we could hit up the hot springs.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yep.
There's a lot to do in Glenwood, man. There's not just the hot springs. It's really a cool area.
Yeah, we've been to the amusement park there. I don't know if you've been to the amusement park.
I haven't.
That one's cool because they got a gondola where that's how you enter the park and leave the park.
That's cool.
You have to take a gondola up the mountain. So
Nice.
The park sits like well above I-70. So it's on top of the canyon as you go through Glenwood Canyon. And so like there's rides that hang off over the canyon and over I-70. As you're up there, dude, you're way up there.
That sounds kind of cool.
Yeah. So it's a cool park. And then they got like it's not, what were those slides called when you got on the mountain and used to ride down them that they've all shut down around here?
Alpine slide?
Yeah. So they got a ride like that, but it's on tracks. And it's controlled the same way, but it's on a track. So you can still control with the joystick in the middle, go fast or slow down.
Oh, that's...
Yeah. So it's the new Alpine slide.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out, I think. Maybe we could do an episode. We'd have to upload it a day late or something, but do a episode of this from the train.
We could go live right from the train.
Live from the good old Amtrak.
From the observation cart.
The observation cart.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to... I think we better keep it a short trip first before we take the Transcontinental Railway full route,
I mean, the Omaha trip technically would be shorter. Because you could go to the zoo, hop back on the train, and get home.
Yeah, but man, I think it's going to be important to have a hotel in between them train rides. I'm just saying.
Who needs a hotel?
I'll tell you, I probably won't sleep much on the train.
They got a beer cart for you. Go down, get a beer.
Just one beer.
I'll babysit.
Me or the frickin' kid?
I'm not babysitting you. I'm Mr. Sober, dude.
I am too these days.
Okay.
I think since my whole escapade with the hospital stay, the most I've had in a sitting has been 3 beers.
That's good for you.
There was a day in my life when I'd come home on a Friday night and drink 18 or 20 of them. And love every minute of it, and they still sound good, but I just don't do it anymore.
And there would come a day on those Friday nights about 2 a.m. that I would get a phone call when I was in a dead sleep. Hey, what are you doing? You should come have a beer with me. 1 or 2 of them
nights that you freaking got up, got dressed, and came over and had a beer with me.
Yeah, I'd answer and be like, "Oh, hey, come have a beer with me, pal."
Yeah, well, leave it to Joe. He came through a couple times. I don't know if I could have done the same. At 2 o'clock in the morning.
There are many people that would have rolled over to your house at 2 a.m.
No, there's not.
Yep, there were many of those nights. Speaking of that, I haven't had a beer since October.
It's been a minute for you. I know you've kind of been entertaining the alcohol-free beers. Are you? And you kind of enjoy the Budweiser one.
Yeah, I did try that. Does that count as drinking? When it's 0.0?
You can call it that. I mean, there's no alcohol, but it's still, as we learned, because it is still considered an alcoholic beverage somehow, some way.
Still got to be 21 to buy it.
That's so weird to me.
Yeah, I think it's probably like an addiction thing, though, right? Like, so if I was a 16-year-old wanting a beer that's alcohol-free, it still tastes like regular beer.
Right.
Like, honestly, I wouldn't know the difference on the one I tried.
Yeah. My dad likes them too, and I've had a few with him, and they're pretty good.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't. I mean, if I were in my drinking days, it would be a lager. You know me, I'm not into the dark beers, or I gotta stay with a simple beer.
Just the hard alcohol nights that we had at my house with the the tequila that I brought back from Mexico, and then the Blackbeard rum that I got on sale at the liquor store over here.
You want to tell that story about that Mexican tequila? That Mexico tequila?
Maybe only parts of it.
Hell, you better not say that. You better not tell that story.
A long story short, my wife and I took a trip down to Mexico and down to Cancun, and in the airport they have the duty-free shop where you can buy all that stuff and it's tax-free. So I find this bottle of this authentic Mexican tequila. I think it was called 100 Años, and it was nasty. It wasn't very good. And I bring this stuff home.
That night we had it.
We ran out of beer, and we started working on that. And
well,
long story
before
short,
you go
neither
with that,
one of us.
There's a whole years old behind Kurtis there of old alcohol, and it had that.
Oh yeah, dude. Because that's when I got all that. I had a bunch of stuff that my grandma had given me out of her liquor cabinet that probably sat there for 25 or 30 years before I got it.
It's probably still sitting there behind you.
I think there is a few things of it, actually, but yeah, no, there was some old stuff in there, but me and Joe get to working on this tequila, and we were taking shots of it, and we had plenty of beer on top of that, but neither one of us can remember what happened after that, and from what we've gathered from our significant others, that we weren't quite acting like ourselves that night.
Yeah, I think there was a little more to that tequila than what led the odds.
Yeah, I think we each said some choice things to our spouses, and we'll leave it at that.
It was after we had both parted ways, because there was like a phase where, like, when we both told the story the same way. Because we both did the same thing. The exact same thing.
And we had to kind of wonder if maybe the liquor was tainted, if it was some of that tainted liquor that they had that was happening in Mexico and at the resorts and all that stuff. Because it was, we've put away some liquor before, and I've never had anything do that to me.
Yeah, and there was a phase in there. You said tainted. I mean, maybe something happened while we were drinking it that, some Allen shit from hangover,
There was, yeah, you never know. I mean,
Black Doug might have been there in exchange, and
yeah, right? You never know.
So that could have been it too. There's two possibilities, but we ended up with the similar stories, but there's a phase in there where you feel fine, and then you're just gone, and you don't remember it.
Yeah, and that's how I would explain it for me. It was like we were just fine. We were sitting here shooting the shit, and all of a sudden
I had ordered an Uber.
Yeah, and you went to Albert Tacos after that, didn't you?
I ordered a stop and got breakfast burritos at the classic Fountain Albert Tacos in the middle of the night before, back in the day they were open 20 a day.
Not anymore.
And you get there, yeah, Can I help you? Yeah, I'll have a breakfast burrito. Thank you.
You know what? I'm glad they finally made that so it doesn't look like Kentucky Fried Chicken anymore.
Did they change it?
Yeah, they re-stuccoed it and made it look all nice.
Really?
I think it's really just to cover up the front, for the laundering operation that probably takes place there, but...
Probably. Always had to wonder. You got dirty-ass food, but... never stopped people from going there, but it was always a classic breakfast burrito spot.
Yeah, people love that place. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of... I sometimes I miss drinking beer like I used to, but I can say that I don't miss the way it made me feel the next day.
Yeah, well, back then when we had that story, I could wake up feeling okay.
Yeah.
But I was also getting to a point where, like, even a couple, they don't make me feel well anymore. Even if, I just do it for a few just to enjoy.
Well, I can promise you one thing, that next morning I did not feel okay. I was not in a good way.
You did not have Albert Tacos that night.
I don't think I actually made it to sober until afternoon that day.
Well, your wife was not happy with you.
She was not happy with me at all. We had a couple instances like that. I don't know.
We got some good stories. We got some good stories out of those late 2 a.m. calls where your ass used to wake me up out of.
Oh yeah, dude, we've had some good times over here. We remember the night we had a certain individual over here and we were shooting bottle rockets off in the backyard. But we figured out a way to like hold them real lightly in our hand and then light it and shoot off out of your hand.
Yeah. And we lit it, and he was holding on so tight, it was burning him. It was trying to take off. It was going, and he's like, ow, ow, ow. And he dropped it, off. And it just shot into that guy's backyard.
At like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning.
I mean, we've had everything. We've even seen a bearded dragon.
Oh, we did. And then what was the other one that we had that one? We had somebody that was out in the backyard singing. I think it might have been that same guy.
Yeah, probably. There was a time when, if you don't know, we don't go inside Kurtis's house to use the restroom. So as you're drinking and you break the seal, we walk out back and we do our thing because we're manly and it's dark.
Right off the back porch.
Yeah, and Kurtis had a fire pit out there. One of the big round ones.
That's a good one.
I had going back there doing my thing, and he walks out like right after me, and I'm giving it the old tuck and shake, shaking and tucking. And I do my thing, buckle my belt, and I take a step backwards, and I had no idea that fire pit was there.
Tripped right over. I think you don't even think you tripped over it. You actually fell over it.
I stepped backwards and I fell over it, and I'll never forget how my head sounded hitting the concrete because it
smacked, and I could hear it. I heard it slap.
Yeah, and I rolled over, and there's Kurtis just standing there doing his thing, and he's like, "Hey, pal, I'll be right there. Hang on."
Ever since then, he's never been able to say Colorado the right way.
That just knocked me out, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm glad that you're okay. I was pretty worried about that one.
I didn't know if I woke up with a headache in the morning or a hangover from a headache.
I think you might have had a hangover from the alcohol and a hangover from the crash.
Came out of that. I didn't even cry, man. I got up like nothing happened. Continued the night.
And we came in and had some more Blackbeard rum.
Yeah. You remember when AB came over?
I do.
And
does he listen to this show?
No, I haven't talked to AB in a long time. And he was bad, though. He was really bad. And I mean,
yeah, there was a time I thought the guy might have had a real problem.
And he was mixing, right? Like he had different liquors, beers, all those liquors on your back wall. And it got to a point where he wasn't feeling well. And
Banana rum.
I'll never forget. He was sitting next to me at your bar right there in front of you, and I watched his mouth go like, and you could tell he was getting sick, and you were like, you looked at him and said, "Don't you do it."
We were sitting on the back patio, and I looked in the garage, and he was sitting on the bar stool, and he went,
yeah. Yeah, his mouth filled up, and he was holding it, and you were like, "Don't you do it," and it looked like a sprinkler coming out going,
"Oh, God, dude." He was going, and it was just spraying out of his lips. I could have killed him. Then he was like, "Hey, man, give me a towel. I'll clean it up." And I give this dude a towel. And he's like wiping it, but it's just smearing it all around the floor in the garage. I could have killed him.
Those are the good stories, though. Those are good memories, man.
Dang, man, that guy drank a whole bottle of rum.
They're good memories now.
There's some good times, though. I mean, I built this bar in my garage, and I think it has more than paid for itself. It has been a solid entertainment place for about 16 years now.
Have you been there that long?
I've lived here more like pretty close to 18 years.
It's about as long as I've known you.
Yeah, it was about that same time.
Didn't even want to be my friend 18 years ago.
Well, when you tried to kill me that time with the mower, I wasn't real sure where we stood together.
Some guy had his buddies hold me down and bully me, tear off my pants.
I would never do that.
And then he wonders why I tried to kill him with the lawnmower.
See, you were serious.
You'll never know.
I'll never know, but I'm sure glad I got away with all my toes, that's for sure.
You know I keep receipts, and you know what I do with receipts. Eventually, all receipts get cashed back in.
I know.
There's a money-back guarantee on all receipts.
It's probably going to throw me off the train. I don't know. I'm going on a cruise with this guy. He might leave me out in the middle of the Caribbean in the water somewhere.
Yeah, you never know.
Shark food.
Mm-hmm. Shark bait, okay. All right, buddy. Well,
what do you got?
Going on a train ride and a cruise.
Yeah. What are you drinking tonight? Some coffee?
It's actually a soda I got from the gas station.
Nice.
Thought I'd switch it up since, I've been on my health kick.
Yep. It's not a bad thing.
Try and
Yeah, planes, trains, and automobiles, man. We're going to take it by land, sea, and air.
All of the above.
I'm looking forward to that cruise, man. I think about it every day. We're down to I think we're down into the 50 days mark now, right?
I don't know.
It's got to, I know later this month we can actually do the check-in process and find out where our rooms are at.
Yep. 20 days. 20
yes, sir.
days. I know that much.
Coming at us fast.
It's coming. I'm gonna come. Do not come. You don't remember that one. Come on. Kamala's talking about January 6th or whatever, and she's like, do not come. Do not. And then Trump comes in on his, somebody edited this video.
Yeah.
Come on. Sorry, Mama Leadum, for listening. I know you don't like our derogatory commercials or
It's a family show.
It's a family show. I'm sorry.
It's probably the rudest, crudest family show you've ever heard, but it is a family show.
That's right. And we love everybody that listens.
Absolutely. Speaking of that, if you're out there, please check out our social media. Look us up online. Shoot us a text. Shoot us an email. We'd like to get to know you, get to maybe interview you, talk about what you do and what you're all about. Maybe hear how you say Colorado.
That's right. And I just want to clarify, what number are they texting?
They're not. It's called message.
Okay.
Smart ass.
LDN.
Yeah, we took out a burner phone just for the sake of we stand corrected.
I mean, they might have got your number from the old liquor store prank phone call.
I thought you were going to say from Spokio. They looked me up on Spokio.
Another story for another day.
Another story for the next time.
All right.
The next episode of We Stand Corrected.
That's right. Episode 28 is 29 in the books.
29, I think it is 29 is the next one.
It is 29.
We're coming up on 30 already.
We got this.
All right,
man. Till next time.
Till next time, man. You enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you all next time. Again, check us out on our social media. We're always looking for somebody to interview.
That's right. See you later.
Have a good evening.